Hello friends, Eric here. Lesson 45 is great for learning or enhancing playing 3 strings simultaneously with index, middle, and ring fingers. For the left hand, it's good to work out the stretching of fingers 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. If you have already played lesson 44, the left hand positions will come easier for you because they are the exact same ones in the exact same order. I've divided the entire lesson in 4 sections of 2 measures each. I will guide you through them, and I will also guide you through the transition from one section to the other one, because that's where the flow of the music happens, in the transition from one position to the other. Let's begin with section 1. We are going to press with finger 3, string number 5, fret number 3, for that beginning C, and we're going to pluck it with the thumb. Finger 1 is going to go to the C on string number 2, fret number 1, and we're going to pluck simultaneously index on the 3rd string, middle on the 2nd string, and ring finger for the 1st string. And then we're going to repeat it, and once again. Measure 2 is exactly the same thing, so our left hand is going to remain in its place, and we just have to repeat the finger picking pattern of the right hand. That is thumb, and then the 3 fingers play at the same time, the same strings. When you're plucking, try to have your right hand fingers start the movement all the way from the knuckle, not from the middle joint. In other words, try to avoid looking like this when you play. This is not a convenient way to play, to produce the sound. Try to look more like this. The movement is almost exactly the same span of movement, the same size of movement, but it is starting all the way here. So it's not this, it's this. If we make it big, the movement will be clearer. But if we make it big, then it is difficult to be precise when we play. So the movement starts all the way in the knuckle, but at the same time we try to have it as small as possible. Then we have measure number 2. That one uses only one finger to press on string 1, fret 1. That's an F note. And then the other ones are going to be open strings. The bass line is going to have the open 4th, and then index is going to play the open 3rd, and middle finger the open 2nd. And it's going to be thumb, fingers, 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 thumb, fingers, fingers, fingers. Something very important to mention is what to do with our fingers when they are not playing or pressing. For example, finger 2, 3, and 4, they are not pressing any string. However, I'm having them close to the strings, close to the area where we press. I'm avoiding going all the way down, and I'm also avoiding stretching them all the way up. This is for the fingers to be prepared at all times to get into the action. Even though they are not playing for the span of 8 beats, it's important to develop the habit of the fingers being ready to get into action. Now let's talk about how to transition from the position of the first section to the position of the second section. First, let's look at what finger 1 is going to do. Finger 1 is on string number 2, fret number 1 over here. And then in the next position, it has to go to fret number 1 as well, but on string number 1. So it's going to be a very small movement, a very short distance. We want to avoid doing super big movements. It's just from one string to the very next one inside the same fret. And finger 3 is going to just remove itself from the pressure of the string. It's going to look like this. Notice how I am playing the open 4th string while I move finger 1 from one string to the next one. I play the open and I do the transition. You don't have to wait to have finger 1 on the F to play the 4th, the open 4th. On the contrary, it's better to use the open 4th string to give you time to get to string number 1 comfortably and without rushing. Moving on to section number 3, this is the most stretchy one. It is the same as lesson 44, so you may already have developed the span of stretch that you need for finger 2 and finger 4. Finger 3 and finger 1 are not going to be part of the position. So we're going to have finger 2 on string number 5, fret number 2. That's a B. And then finger 4 is going to go string number 1, fret number 3, and that is a G. And we're going to have open third and open second strings. The finger picking pattern is the same. We play with the thumb on the first beat, and then beats 2, 3, and 4 we play simultaneously at the same time, index, middle, and ring finger. It looks like this. Again. Remember to start the movement all the way from the knuckle. Even though the movement is small, it is starting all the way from the knuckles. To transition from section 2 to section 3, we're going to take advantage of the fact that we are not using fingers 2, 3, and 4 to press any strings for the position in section 2. So while we are playing the chord, the notes in section 2, we are going to prepare finger 2 and finger 4 by bringing them close to the string and fret that we are going to need them once we press with them. So as we are playing section 2, we start to bring finger 2 close to string 5 so we can activate it without much effort. Let's look at that again. The position on section 2 or measure 4 is this one, and we are going to have our fingers 2 and 4 hovering strings 5 and 1 respectively. It's kind of having the position already fixed, hovering the strings, and then we lower it. It looks like this. Position is ready, and we activate the fingers when we need them. We call that finger preparation, and finger preparation is important and very helpful to smoothen things up. Section 4, measures 7 and 8. Measure 7 is exactly the same position as measure 1. So it is finger 3, string 5, fret 3, that's a C. And finger 1 is going to go to the other C on string number 2, fret number 1. And then we finish with only the bass on string 5. And to transition from section number 3 to section number 4, or from measure number 6 to measure number 7, here's what we're going to be doing. So we're playing measure number 6, and as we are playing that measure, finger 3 is close to the note that it is going to be pressing in measure number 7. So I'm playing measure number 6, and finger 3 is close to fret number 3 on string number 5, close to but not touching it. And finger 1 is also close to string number 2, fret number 1, close to but not touching it. So we are playing measure number 6, and fingers 3 and 1 are ready to get to its place when they are needed. Let's see that again without me speaking over it. And there you have it, lesson 45. And actually practicing lesson 44 and 45 in the same practice session can be of much benefit in the long run to develop consistency in your playing. If you want to go even further, you can play lesson 44, 45, 40 and 41 in the same practice session, and it's going to develop your overall performance on the shapes of C major and G7 chords. Practicing multiple lessons can also help with keeping your practice sessions feeling fresh and engaging. But of course, every person has a preferred way of learning, and you should tailor your learning strategies to your personal needs. There's so much I can say, but it is time to go. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to support the channel, liking, sharing, and subscribing are great ways to do so. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Enjoy the process. Happy practice.